There's a brand called Kosas. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's they've got a concealer, and people were trying this and using it. Then 6 months later, finding that it smelled of blue cheese. Not only that, but seeing visible black spots from, of course, mould. In this day and age, this is not something that should be happening. Let's just watch this video for a quick introduction on today's video.
Are people actually finding mold in their Kosas concealers? Kosas is a clean beauty brand that launched in 2015 and is beloved by so many, including Hailey Bieber. 7 months ago, someone posted this on Reddit, saying they initially...
So the post says, okay, so I originally got a sample of this concealer and I loved it. It was the best concealer I have ever used. Fast forward 9 months later, I started to notice a blue cheese smell. Fast forward a year later, I put it on and my eyes and face burned. I figured it's probably done for anyway because concealers usually last 1 to 2 years. But I went back to use this a couple of weeks later and I found black spots in my concealer. I literally had just bought a brand new Kosas concealer too, and I actually ended up contacting customer service about it. They said they will look into it but to keep what I ordered for free, which was nice, but if this concealer grows mould that fast, don't people have a right to know about it? I don't know. Anyone have the same experience? Let's carry on watching the rest of the video before I give you my unwarranted opinion.
Loved their Kosas concealer, but about 9 months later it started to smell of blue cheese. It later started burning their eyes and their skin, and then eventually they claimed to find black mold spots in their concealer. So this particular post actually has 100 comments with people saying similar things about the Revealer concealer. And now this post and speculation around if Kosas concealer does have mold in it or can go moldy has made its way to TikTok this week. I'm sure so many of you have seen videos of people grabbing their concealers and sniffing them to see if they smell like cheese, but there are a couple of really good videos from cosmetic chemists on TikTok who have tried to explain what might be happening here. So this is at Jane the Chemist, and she first debunks speculation that Kosas doesn't use preservatives at all, because that is a lot of the narrative here on this app. She says even clean beauty products need to have some type of preservatives to pass testing, but she does suggest that the 2 preservatives that Kosas seems to use in their formula might not be enough to pass testing 3 or 6 months down the line. Javon Ford 16 is another cosmetic chemist that has made a really informative video on this. He says based on how the concealer is formulated, and I'm not going to try and get into that because it seems quite complex, but based on how it's formulated, the preservation system would have to do a lot of extra work in order to kill or prevent the growth of bacteria. And he basically says to trust your intuition, trust what you see and smell. If it looks off, if it smells off, then it is off. Kosas has been responding in their TikTok comments saying they do use preservatives. Their products, like every other product on the market, must pass testing, and products sold at authorized retailers should not be going bad. For a full breakdown on this story, head to...
In that reply to someone's comment, then they said everything must have preservatives to pass the testing. That's not to say though that they have the right preservatives to make this product last more than 6 months. So yes, they've got preservatives in to pass the testing, but no, they haven't got enough. And that's the key part here.
Centennialbeauty.com.
So this is the messy reality of unregulated marketing. You can't, if a brand is releasing a makeup product, a beauty product, a skincare product, whatever it may be, it is not the customer's responsibility to be actively checking every single time they use this product to see if it smells off, to see if something's different, to see if it's safe to use. That is the job of the brand who is making this product. These tests that they have to pass in order for it to be appropriate to sell and just able to sell needs to be more in depth. Because if this product, this concealer, is going out of date basically, is expiring within 6 months to a year, then that tells me that you're just not doing what you should be doing. it tells me that these tests aren't as in-depth as they should be, because more often than not, people are not using their full concealer within that 6 months. You're going to have it longer than that. So these preservative tests that they do need to be testing longer. I am just a person, it is not my job. For someone who has this as their job, they should know to do this. They should know that it's a necessity. Because the alternative is just doing the basic preservative tests and having all of this chaos following because your products aren't lasting more than 6 months. That's disgraceful. Sort your shit out, please. And Kosas is not exactly a small indie brand. They are quite a big brand, okay? So they should definitely have the funding there, the time there, the expertise to do all these things appropriately. If you're not, like I say in many other videos, find a job you're good at, or you're willing to put the extra steps into to make sure that people who are receiving these products are going to be safe. I think the massive problem here, and the reason that I actually wanted to do a video about this, was because this is concealer, it's going near your eyes. To have a concealer that has mould in it, that smells of blue cheese because it is so expired and so mouldy, to have that near your eyes in any way is so dangerous. If we don't talk about these things, someone is going to go blind from something like this. And we can't replace our eyes like that. You have one pair, we need them. So the issue with all of this is the term clean beauty that every single brand seems to be jumping on. What do you mean by clean? Because there is no... This word in the beauty industry has no meaning. It's got no substance. It's just a word people are kind of throwing about. It has no real medical or legal definition. It's just a word that brands are using in order to manipulate customers into believing that their products are better than the other alternatives on the market. It really is that simple. The term came about when consumers were concerned with the lack of transparency when it came to what is actually in our makeup, what is in our products. But the term was quickly hijacked by marketing teams in order for profit, to make money. They've taken this word and added it to every single thing that they're making in order to manipulate people into thinking that their products are the best. Cruelty-free. They'll do the best for your skin. They're the ones that'll cause the least amount of damage. There's no kind of toxic chemicals and things in it. But I'm going to make this really simple, okay? All clean beauty means is that there are less preservatives in. From what I have seen and read about, that's all it means. Just that there are less preservatives in than other products. The reason for this, I have no idea, because all that you're doing there is making sure that this product is not going to last as long as the other ones by having less preservatives in, because the clue's in the name, preservative. It preserves your makeup, it makes it last longer, and therefore gives you the ability to use it longer. So these marketing teams and these brands have seen this as a perfect opportunity to just stick it on all the products, and that way it's gonna, in their eyes, bring new customers, have people preferring their brand over others. But all they're actually doing is keeping the same dusty products, but just putting less preservatives in them, so they're going to run out quicker, and you know you're not going to be able to use them as long. What? I mean, say you're stupid without actually telling me you're stupid. These brands are delulu. Need to have a word with themselves. Need to do some more marketing research, customer research. Just do anything other than sticking the word clean on all your products, because there is no medical or legal definition to it in for your products. It's just a word. It is just a word. Like orange. It's just a word. Just a word. I'm not trying to talk to you like you think. I'm just really confused how this has even come about, how people are believing it as well. Yes, it's very easy to believe it if a brand is telling you, because more often than not we'll just kind of listen to what they're saying. But this is why I'm here, okay? I don't agree with it. I think it's weird. Why are you just making your own shit up? Okay. And actually, leading on from this, because there is no kind of technical, legal and medical definition for this word, every single brand has its own version of what clean means, so that is just causing mass confusion. Nobody knows what it means, because again, it's not a medical or legal definition. It is just a word that everybody's latched onto for the brand. And again, this is what makes it complicated, because it's not a thing. You just, every single brand has their own definition for why their brand is clean. But it usually really is just the fact that they have less preservatives in their products. It's not anything. And the other words and ways to define this that they use in their marketing, like no nasties and non-toxic, is also very, very, it's like fearmongering, because just because a product isn't clean doesn't make it dangerous to use, doesn't make it toxic, it doesn't make it harmful. Brands are just using that as a way to try and scare people away from one product and onto theirs. It's a fear-mongering marketing tactic, and everyone who's doing that should be ashamed of themselves. And actually, more to the point, not everything that is natural is good, just as not everything that is synthetic is bad. For example, poison ivy is natural. Is it good? No, it isn't. Something that I found really, really interesting when just reading up about clean beauty and things like that for this video was something to do with ingredients. So on beauty packaging and skincare packaging, anything like that, if it says on there fragranced, perfumes, oils, whatever, fragranced something, that is a general term that brands are allowed to put on the back of packaging to hide certain things that they're putting in these products. And it's not just little things, it's stuff that can cause cancer, allegedly. It's things that can really mess with your hormones, really mess with just your insides. And I think it's such a wild, wild thing to me, because where's the duty of care with anyone? I feel like it's a massive duty of care issue if you have a brand that is willing to just put fragranced oils, but realistically it's using that term to cover something that could potentially cause cancer or mess around with your hormones. They are massive things that you should know about as a consumer. Due to all the issues surrounding the term clean for beauty, there are a group of skintellectuals, which is I believe the Gen Z Alpha, who are quickly shifting the focus from clean to more medical and legal backed terminology. So I found a little list on Google, I'm going to go through it now. In place of chemical free, people are choosing to use the term biotech fermented actives, which means chemicals are safe when they are precise and lab verified. Very important, because as I've previously said, clean has no kind of lab verification, it's got no medical verification, it's got no legal verification. It is just a word that people have latched onto. Instead of natural extracts, they're choosing to use peptides and exosomes, and these offer targeted medicinal results rather than vague nourishment. Which again is really important, because if you are looking for a specific beauty or skincare product, more often than not, you're looking for this because you've got a particular concern. So to just stick the word clean on everything and act like everything's going to just hydrate your skin and that's it, and there's going to be no kind of side effects or other things that come into play, is totally wrong. It's very, very important that brands show that they have products that target specific medicinal needs or results, rather than just, here, have this serum, it'll make your skin really glowy. And then instead of non-toxic, which is a personal hatred of mine, non-toxic. Before I read you this last one, again, I'm just going to say non-toxic is so stupid, because that is then giving people the idea of, okay, so if it doesn't say non-toxic, then it is toxic, and that is going to be harmful to me or my skin. No. So instead of non-toxic, people are choosing to use microbiome friendly. So this focuses on skin health, lipids, ceramides, rather than fear-based marketing, or fear-mongering as we like to say. Just ridiculous. Ridiculous. If your product is so shit that you need to resort to fear-mongering, then I suggest you get back to the labs and make something that is worthy. Because that's pathetic, really. So just a little list of brands who are replacing non-toxic claims with biotech beauty are Medicube, Kosas, VT Cosmetics, which I've actually never heard of. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research into them, but they are another one. Medicate, BioEffect, Skin, Neod by Deciem, the same people who own The Ordinary, Biossance. And I don't know about you, but these are all brands who I feel, I have an inkling that they are going to do very well in the next few years, because as time is going on, more and more people are quickly realising that clean beauty just does not mean a thing anymore. It never did. It's just a word that someone started with to try and make out like none of their products were toxic. Not that... What? You've got to go through tests to make sure that they're not going to be harmful to people, that they're not going to be literally toxic to people. So I think these are going to do really well as brands, because they are setting the record straight quickly, straight away, and not leading their customers to believe that clean beauty is a thing. There is so much confusion anyway when it comes to makeup and beauty and skincare and just all of that. There is so much to work out if you're not educated in that specific area, as it is. So to add all these different terms in that just basically mean nothing is just overcomplicating everything for everybody. We don't need to do that. We're trying to make it simple and effective, not complicated and ineffective. What sense does that make? And I just feel for the brands that are claiming that their brand is clean. What are you achieving from this? What are you gaining from this? Because all you are doing is destroying your integrity. Leading people to believe that this is got any kind of medical backing or legal backing, and it doesn't. It's just a word. So next time you see a brand using the term clean, ignore it. Everyone's being stupid with this, in my opinion. But who am I? I'm just a girl with an opinion. Do with that information what you will. That is all till my next video. I hope you have a wonderful week, or a wonderful day, evening, whenever you are watching, wherever you are watching. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if this channel is your vibe. Love you. Bye!